Good afternoon and welcome to the OOH-RAH Report. I'm your host, Anthony Keverett, and today we are talking about AEW Dynamite, the final Dynamite before Revolution this Sunday. And I gotta say, I will be giving my Revolution predictions at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But the show does open up in a very big way as the first match of the night. It's interesting. They jump right into Cody's entrance. So that means the first match is Cody and Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill and Shaquille O'Neal. Now, I've given my thoughts about this the last time we spoke here on the OOH-RAH Report about Dynamite, and I do not like this. I think to bring Shaq in at his age with his mobility, as we've seen, I think the time for him to do a match has been long gone. But I wasn't proven wrong tonight, but I wasn't proven wrong, but I wasn't proven right. So we have that match, and yeah, this is a okay match. You can see Jade Cargill and Shaq are basically being carried throughout this match by Cody and Red Velvet, which is not bad. I've seen a lot of that when it comes to outside personalities coming in and wrestling. So yeah, I wasn't surprised with that, but you kind of knew where it was going. Every time Shaq was in the ring with Cody, they did a lockup. Shaq did some chops and just the normal big guy stuff. You could tell he's kind of immobile. He doesn't really know what he's doing, but that's fine. You know, when the women actually fight Red Velvet and Jade Cargill, you can see Jade Cargill is kind of there. Like she's not seasoned yet, but I think Red Velvet does do a really good job to bring a lot out of her. You know, there's some nice spots outside where, you know, Shaq starts throwing guys around, which is great. And they set up the tables, and you kind of already know that Shaq's going through the tables. I honestly didn't believe it when it happened. And yeah, so Shaq gets right in position. You could see him like getting ready. He gets in position. Cody does a crossbody off the ropes, and they both go smashing through the tables. And it's a really good spot. You know, I gotta say that I knew that was kind of the saving grace of this match, was the fact that they were going to have Shaq do something so, you know, weird that it's going to make the news tomorrow. You know, Shaquille O'Neal goes through tables at a wrestling event. Like, that's going to be the headline. And, yeah, that's what it was. You know, great thing. And then they make Shaq look all hurt and stuff after the match. By the way, Jade Cargill wins with, I forget the actual name of the move, but I know it as the Glam Slam by Beth Phoenix. And, you know, she wins with that move, and 1, 2, 3, they move on. That's not the end of Jade Cargill's and Red Velvet's feud, and I'm assuming once Brandy comes back, if she comes back forever, at a point, then yeah, I could see that match happening. But yeah, so okay, it was for what it was okay. It wasn't more than I expected, a little bit. I'm surprised that Shaq even did that spot, but for a interpromotional match, okay, and I'm glad they did it at the beginning of the show, not saving it till the end, because they kind of knew this match was not going to be that great. And even the main event, you know, to be honest, wasn't the main event I expected for the go-home show, but it was still pretty solid. So after that, we get a quick match between Rey Fenix and Pac taking on, well, it doesn't really matter because the match is basically over. The match goes really quick that you forget the names of the two guys they're fighting. And this is basically because Rey Fenix and Pac, you know, the 2 out of the 3 members of Death Triangle, are going to be in the Casino Battle Royal for to get a number 1 contendership. Which I'm surprised they're doing another Casino Battle Royal after they did one that MJF and Jericho won to get their tag opportunity at Revolution. But you know what? I get it. You kind of want to fill that card out, so you know I'm excited for it. I really am. But yeah, basically this match is pretty short and sweet and nothing else. Then after a commercial break, we come to the press conference for MJF and Jericho talking about their match on Sunday against the Young Bucks for the Tag Team Championships. And they actually do get, they have people who have media credentials to do it. So they have a few guys from Barstool Sports and all that. And then at the end, you have Eric Bischoff saying, he basically says, why would you want to provoke the Bucks by attacking Papa Buck? And then immediately after the Bucks come out, you know, there's good back and forth. You know, Jericho and MJF on the mic are great. So it's basically just whatever you expect from those two guys. And, you know, they're putting themselves over, and they're also putting the Bucks over for that match on Sunday. And the match is going to be good. But, you know, the Bucks come out and they say, you know, our dad taught us everything, including that you got to shut them, kick some guys in the teeth, in which they do. And then there's a nice brawl after that. and the Bucks put Santana and Ortiz through 2 tables outside the ring with an assist from the Good Brothers. Now, I'll get into my predictions for Sunday's match, and I do, and there's a whole, and I think this whole storyline, between the Inner Circle and the Bucks and Gallows and Anderson, that's all going to come together very nicely. And I'll get to that at the end of this episode when I talk about my predictions for Revolution. So after that, we get FTR and Tully Blanchard taking on Jurassic Express. And this match has a lot of build to it, and it pays off dramatically. Like, I gotta say, this was a solid 6-man tag match between all 6 of these guys, including Tully. Tully, for his age and stuff, you expect it. He's immobile, but he also, he knows when to tag out, and he knows when to let the young guys do it. And he does get the finisher, and he does get the pin, which, the match is great in the end. Of course, it's a shenanigan finish. It's an FTR match. Every FTR match probably is in their contracts at this point that you need to have a screwy finish. And they have one when they say a supposed camera guy hits, I believe it's Jungle Boy, with a camera, and then the pin and the win. And I did not, I'm trying to think who it is. I'm trying to, pinpoint it. Because right now at AEW, you really don't know who anybody's going to be. Because the door is open, as I've said in the past, the forbidden door is open, so anybody can jump anywhere. That's the whole thing with that's the good thing about AEW, is you really don't know who's coming from where. So I didn't really know who it could be, and then obviously it went over my head right away, and he pulls the mask off, and it's Shawn Spears, and I am rejoiced to see this guy back. I loved him as Ty Dillinger. I loved him when he came into AEW and was the chairman, but they didn't have anything for him to do, and he got lost in the shuffle. He's the first real case of a guy who jumped ship and just fell flat. But I'm so happy now that they finally pulled the trigger on him being part of, actually being incorporated into Tully Blanchard and FTR. And if you just get one more guy, you may have a new incarnation of the Horseman. Now, I don't know how the trademark works with all of that, because, I know TNA did their own version of the Horseman several years ago. I don't know how that's going to work. But I think if you can get the Horseman, man, that's a nice other stable to have. And FTR could do it, Shawn Spears could do it, and you just need that 4th body. Somebody who could just do it and just be that kind of, crooked, cheating bastard. And it would be so great. And personally, I think I would have liked to see it be Adam Page, but Adam Page is doing his own thing, and I like what they're doing with Adam Page. But, we will see. I'm very interested and see how that goes. And we'll probably see more of that next week. I don't think we'll see any of that development on Sunday, even though FTR and Jurassic Express are in the Battle Royal. So yeah, and then after that, we get Tony Schiavone introducing Paul White. Yeah, that's right. I have not been here for a while, and the news just kept coming. Big Show, with his final heel turn ever, joining AEW. So now he'll be Paul White. Once again, first time since, I believe, when he first debuted in the WWF, when he was known as the Big Nasty Paul White. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And he comes out with a shirt that says "No More BS." Love it. And yeah, he does throw some shade a little bit at WWE for basically the way they used him. And he looks good. And I think he can still go. I don't see him I think they'll use him as they use Sting. Not often, but well enough where it's like, okay, we can do things. But yeah, he has some announcements. They talk about their new show, AEW Dark Elevation, another YouTube show. So yeah, you're going to get a lot more, I want to say, indie content from their YouTube channel, which I like. So it should be fun. And right after that, he says, I got a really big scoop for you, Schiavone. And he says he will announce on Sunday during the pay-per-view, like he needed another reason to buy the show, that they will be making the big announcement of one of the biggest signings AEW has ever gotten. And it's big, and it's secretive. And I'll be honest, I have no idea who this guy is. I'm sitting here with my brother, and I'm talking about it, and they're like, could it be this guy? Could it be this guy? The only free agent I know at this moment of recording on the afternoon of Thursday, the only guy that rings a bell to me that's a free agent right now is Marty Scurll. And he's only a free agent as of Wednesday morning. So I can't think of who this guy would be. And it's on a pay-per-view, so it's got to be somebody huge. But I don't know. And you'll get my reaction. You'll get my reaction next week on the OOH-RAH Report when we cover Dynamite after and the review of Revolution. But I really don't know, and I'm interested to see. Leave a comment down below who you guys think the mystery signee for AEW is going to be for Revolution. So after that, we get the finals of the Eliminator Tournament as Nyla Rose takes on I'm gonna butcher her name, Rino Musayami. And I have not been watching any of the Eliminator Tournament. I was psyched for the Eliminator Tournament. I was surprised that it wasn't going to be on Dynamite every week, but I understand why. It was on BR Live. I get it. And this finals, this final was amazing. These two had an amazing chemistry, and I was kind of scared that they were going to do Nyla versus Shiro 3, and I was not looking forward to it. We've seen those two go at it for the last few months. I don't think we really need to keep going with that. And I was pleasantly surprised as Musayami wins, and she gets to face in an AEW women's title match Sunday at Revolution, and then they get into a slap fight after. And if AEW is smart and you give these ladies enough time, and I say this a lot because timing is everything in wrestling. You give people a window, they will do you justice. And I think if you give the women this match, the AEW Women's Championship match, the respect and the time it needs, this could steal the show. This could easily steal the show with some great judo action. And I am very excited to see how this goes. So yeah, and then we get Sting, another confrontation with Sting to kind of boil everybody down after that great match. And yeah, this is normal. This is an average Sting Team Taz confrontation leading into their street fight. I think last week's was a bit better with Darby swinging down from the rafters. But yeah, no, once again, solid. You've had my money for Revolution since this match was announced. Sting's return to the ring with Darby against Team Taz. It just looks good, and I cannot wait to see how this goes. So then after that, you get the main event. You got another match, actually, to determine one of the members in the ladder match for Sunday. To be honest, it's not really that much to write home about. Quick, easy match leading up to the main event. And yeah, the final main event is you have Matt Quinn and Matt Hardy taking on John Silver of the Dark Order and Hangman Adam Page. Great tag match. Once again, this doesn't really feel like the main event spot. I feel like that should have gone to the Women Eliminator Tournament, if anything. But, it's a solid closing the show. You get Hangman and John Silver winning, and Matt Hardy's pissed. He starts beating up on Adam Page, setting up more for their big money match. The loser has to give their entire earnings to the other man for the first quarter of 2021. So, yeah. It's great, and then after that, everybody, the Dark Order comes out to save Hangman and John Silver from the beatdown, and then other tag teams get involved, and there's a big brouhaha at the end, and that's how the show goes off the air and leads into Countdown. Their specific show talking about the upcoming pay-per-view. And yeah, I'll be honest, this last episode of Dynamite, it's the last Dynamite before Revolution. It's the go-home show. You need to get, if people weren't getting their money out for the show, you need to do that here. And for an episode of Dynamite, a good show. Very good show. I'm not going to go say solid because there's been much. The week before had a really good episode. This kind of felt just like a middle of the road episode of Dynamite. Nothing really got pushed. Like you didn't besides a package midway through, you did not get a single mention of Moxley and Omega. They weren't even on the show. Besides a video package explaining what the Japanese barbed wire deathmatch is. So yeah, I was kind of interested that they didn't really do much. They didn't really set up as much as I thought they were going to. But overall, it was an okay show. I think the Shaq match was kind of, that was the big thing for a lot of people for this episode. And I get it. But besides that, they were good matches. Every match was good. The Jurassic Express match, the women's finals, that was good. But a lot of other stuff kind of was just a little bit forgetful. And that's really about it. Middle of the road show for AEW this week. But, I am looking forward to Revolution. And speaking of Revolution, I'm going to give my predictions now. So the first, I'm going to go from least important match to most important match, hopefully in the correct order of which they come out, but we will see. So the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, I think this will open the show, if anything, or it'll be the second or third match. This is going to go really early in the show, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say Santana and Ortiz win this by some type of tomfoolery. Either them or the Good Brothers, but I don't think they're going to do the Good Brothers just yet, because that gets into later. But I see them winning, and, they're going to be like, well, if you get... And that'll get into what happens in the tag match later. So, yeah, I think Santana and Ortiz will win the tag team battle and get a shot at the tag team championships at some point. I think they're due as well, because even though they had a match for the tag titles a few weeks ago, that was kind of more to set up Jericho and MJF. This one is going to lead me down the road of what's going to happen with the Inner Circle. So next up, we have Miro and Kip Sabian taking on Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. And I have in my notes that I think Cassidy and Taylor are going to win this. And I'm not going to say yet. I'm not going to keep that. I'm going to change it here. I'm going to think Miro and Kip Sabian will win. And I think this only because Miro had a promo on Dynamite this week. And he says he's going to be no more games. Game over. He's going to rip and tear everyone apart. And I want to see it, and I think they'll let him do it, because, this has been a really good storyline, but I think they'll just destroy Cassidy and Taylor. I think that's the way you go here for this, and you build up Miro once again as this, dominant freak of nature, and you can get him to keep going, and, this feud is still going to go on. I think this is going to go until the best friends are reunited, and you get a 3 versus 3 match, I guess you could do, if you want to get Penelope Ford involved, or you just do 3-on-2 and let Miro destroy everybody. But I think Miro and Kip Sabian come out on top here. So next, the Face of the Revolution ladder match. I love the name for that. As Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta El Cerro, Lance Archer, Max Caster, who won the match to be in this match on Dynamite this past week, and one guy to be announced. This is going to be the exact same thing as Double or Nothing. 2 years ago, last year I believe, or 2019, whichever one Brian Cage debuted in. That mystery guy is going to win. Either that mystery guy or Cody. I can't see. There's a few guys in this that can win it. I think Cody's one of them. Scorpio Sky is one of them, because the winner is going to get a TNT title shot. And I can't see Cody. I could see Cody doing it, but not really, because he's had the belt. Scorpio Sky, I think they've been putting him on the trajectory to get a title program, and I think him and Darby Allin would be great. But there's always that little question mark with who the mystery guy is going to be. I'm assuming that's going to be the guy that Paul White introduces, which I don't know who that is. And I know most of you probably don't know who it is. I personally have not seen any rumors on this, whoever this is going to be. It is Thursday, so there's going to probably be some stuff by the time this video comes out, and there's probably going to be stuff into Sunday night. So I'm interested to see who it's going to be. But I do think whoever that mystery guy is going to, get that TNT title opportunity and feud with Darby Allin. So yeah, after that, we have Adam Page versus Matt Hardy in the big money match. I think Matt Hardy comes out on top of this, because I still think there's more to this storyline with the Dark Order and stuff. I think this will introduce the fact that Adam Page will have to join Matt Hardy to get money. And then the Dark Order is going to try to pull him away from it, and then we'll eventually have him, realizing the Dark Order is more than just a faction. They're a family, which is, builds on the whole Brody Lee stuff. And yeah, I think that's the road they're going to go. So I think Matt Hardy comes out top on this big money match. Then we have the street fight. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks taking on Darby Allin and Sting. Oh, Darby Allin and Sting all the way for this. I think this is the final nail in the coffin for the feud. Please let it be, because this feud's reaching on way too long. It was way too long a while ago, but I think that this needs to be the end of this. Start Darby and Sting get the win, and that's going to be it. And then we have the AEW Tag Team Championship match as the Young Bucks take on the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho and MJF. And this is where my prediction for the Casino Battle Royal comes in, as I think MJF and Jericho take the titles off the Bucks via shenanigans. Now, I think the Good Brothers will get involved in this match. I think that's a no-brainer. I think they're gonna somehow, some way, non-intentionally or intentionally screw the Bucks out of the tag titles. Let MJF and Jericho feud with Santana and Ortiz, thus breaking up the Inner Circle even more. And then you'll have the Bucks take on the Good Brothers some point in Impact, and there'll be the rift there. Will they join forces? Will they not join forces? You know, the forbidden door is open. They can jump to Impact. Or do they jump to New Japan? And we get, you know, them going to New Japan, winning the tag titles there. You know, there has been talks about that those three promotions doing a major show. Will that happen? I think right now is here. This is where you plant the seeds, especially with the way things are. And I think, yeah, the Inner Circle is going to take the tag titles, period. Via shenanigans, though. Next up, the Women's Championship match, Hikaru Shida versus Riho Hushimani. I'm so sorry if I got that wrong. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think Shida's going to win this. There's no way I think she doesn't. I think you can't really take the belt off her and give her somebody most people don't know. I think this will be a really solid match. I said it before. I'll say it again. You give them enough time, this match is going to be unbelievably good. And I cannot wait. I'm very interested to see, but I do think Shida comes out on top of this. And finally, the AEW World Championship match, Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley, an exploding barbed wire death match. Say that 3 times fast, and I will give you $1. But yeah, I'm excited for this. If you do not know me, this is going to be amazing. I have never seen a barbed wire death match. I have heard, tellings of Japanese death matches before, and I heard they are brutal. I heard they are, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of flames. It is going to be a magical experience, especially if they do it right. And this could go poorly, this can go amazing. I don't care. It's going to be fun to watch, and that's all I care about. But yes, there has to be a winner. It's going to be Kenny. I love Moxley. This is a match made for the man, but I'm so sorry. Kenny Omega's gonna win, and you won't see Moxley for a while. I think this is the match that sends Moxley away. I know that his wife is pregnant. I don't know when she is due, but this is it. You're not gonna see Moxley for a while, and where they go from here, I don't know. Maybe the mystery person shows up at the end of the show, and it's a big name, and he goes after Omega. Or something happens. I just think this is going to be a war, and it's going to be very enjoyable. So let me know what you guys think about Revolution. You think it's going to be good? You think it's going to be bad? Who do you think the mystery opponent's going to be? Mystery, entity that's going to be looming over the show until 8 o'clock Eastern when the show goes live. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like and subscribe button. They do go along, and I'll see you all here next time on the OOH-RAH Report.